Hey, hi there boys and girls, and welcome back to the channel. And yeah, we're back doing Genesis squads. Fortunately had a bit of a break last week, had a few dental problems last week, so I didn't really fancy sitting around talking for a couple of hours. That's what happens when you get old like me. But yeah, we're back up and running, so we want some gratuitous violence. And speaking of old, I'd like to introduce my co-host for this evening, DH Jammy. How we doing, bud?
I'm good, mate. Looking forward to some action.
Cool. Okay, so Miramar game number 1. We're going to follow our host Genesis down on the drop. So let's have a quick look at our flight line. And ooh, right across the southern part of the island there, Jammy.
Yeah, it's sorry, my screen flicked over then. Right, that's a Vikendi style flight line. That is, it cuts off the majority of the map. Yeah, we're probably going to get some people getting some vehicles and rotating either up the eastern side or probably up the western side to El Pozo. I'd have thought. Even San Martin's out of reach.
Yep. Yeah, you might make Picardo on a long drop, but we'll see. Well, we've got a couple of people out early. I've noticed that actually, noob hunters, they do tend to like those little islands off to the right.
Yeah, and I think that they split in between the islands as well, which is a good idea, because there's good loot, maybe not quite enough loot for a whole squad on each island, so good idea to split. And they're lucky no one else has gone with them.
Okay, so our hosts, Jen, are out of the plane. They're heading north of the flight line.
Looks like we're going to have a lot of late jumps, probably around Valdemar, onto Prison Island, Chubasera. I think we're going to have quite a southwestern, which means the zone's probably going to head northeast.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see what the first if the first zone shifts aggressively north, then that's going to be some fun rotation. Okay, we're going to jump straight into it with the elms. Looks like they might have some company, and they do. Not too far away from one of the squads from Penn.
Yeah, so it's interesting here because you've got a lot of buildings, but there's a lot of these buildings are sort of empty shells. So you've got to pick your spot pretty well.
Now, interestingly, Penn have actually separated off a little bit, so they've got a duo each side of the road.
Yeah, so there's potential here to... oh, there we go. Shots already.
That looks like they've managed to establish one knock apiece. No, and that is just one of the L's actually that's been knocked and thirsted. But Quan putting the hurt on Mumbles there. Nice shooting, Quan.
Yeah, Mumbles left himself a little bit open on the edge there, knowing there are people around. I'm not sure if they'll be able to push because he was quite high up there.
Looks like Quan is not too far away from the pair of them here. Rounds being exchanged with the rest of the squads. And here we go. Looks like help is out in the open. Quan having a quick look there, taking a little bit of damage.
Just retreating back, waiting for Penn help to come back round the side of the building again. But no, it looks like he's going on the hunt.
And yeah, Mr. Green coming round and putting the knock on to Quan. Probably going to get the thirst on too now. Yeah. Rebel has been knocked, so it looks like Clint is the only person still up, but looking to get the revive on Rebel.
Yeah, and then we're going to have a bit of a defensive holding here.
I don't think the guys from Penn are going to let this go, though. There we go. But great knock on help there.
I don't think they quite have the health to be able to push properly.
And it looks like Clint's probably running very low on supplies here, so having to break off the fight to get into a loot box.
And managed to get the Uzi a much better...
yeah. Yeah, but it can go back and get the Winchester if he wants. But yeah, in this kind of situation, probably the Uzi's the way to go.
Yeah, trying to get a bit of height, get into a different position.
So we've got a 2-on-2. These teams both taken a chunk out of each other.
Yeah, so quite a costly early engagement for both teams.
So Clint had a quick look at Mumbles there. Still got a look. I think Mumbles had a quick look at Clint also, so they're aware of each other's location. Be interesting to see if anybody's got any nades yet.
Yeah. Clint did a good job of looting the boxes just to make sure I got a better gun to start with and also some meds as well.
Putting some rounds into Mr. Green there. Rebel not too far away, but looks like Clint and Rebel both struggling a little bit for meds.
Yep, so that's the bandages gone, so this is as good as it's going to get now. Oh no, it's still a couple of energy drinks, so he can wait a little while. And he's even got a level 1 helmet now.
So, yeah, got basic armour.
Mumbles had just almost got sight of Clint there. Just through the doorway. Rebel coming around trying to get a bit of height, just get a different view of them.
Here we go. Great work there from Clint, pre-fire in the corner. Fantastic knock.
Yep, Mumbles going up for Rebel.
Right, nice thirst.
So we've got a 1-on-1 now.
The Rebel knocked. Mumbles very low though. And by the look of that, it's either taking a bit of time to get a med kit in or doesn't have one. No, it doesn't look like Mumbles got one.
Now as well.
Yeah. And Mumbles managing to get the knock on Clint there.
I think we're at a definition of 1 HP for all of them now.
Even low health, 2 guns still better than 1.
So Mumbles making a run for it, trying to get out. These guys are trying to find meds and then push, I think. They won't want to let him escape.
Yeah, I think that was well, it's a good piece of gunfighting there because establishing that knock on Clint gave Mumbles some breathing space.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think the guys would have been after him. But as it is now, I think everybody needs meds and bullets, so we might have to come back to that. Let's have a look at the situation on the map. Okay, we've got a pretty central zone, actually. I mean, I do want to see how this one pans out, see if they're going to go back at each other, but we do have a lot of teams close to each other down south on Prison Island, so we're going to quickly jump down there.
So I think I saw in the kill feed that Team 21 have lost a couple of players by the looks of it.
Yeah, in fact, Stitch is the only member of that team still up and running. And, yeah, Fusion taking 2 kills.
Yeah, so Stitch actually taking the water, just trying to get away there. Probably pretty much the only option, I think.
Okay, let's head up to the northwest. We've got one of the teams, so we've got Noob Hunters going up against Big. And have we got a lovely game freeze? I think we've got a lovely game freeze.
Okay, I thought Marcus had got AFK then. I'm sure it'll come back in a second.
I do love the game freezes.
Yeah.
Come on.
Here we go.
No, normally, no, it's not liking this, is it?
No, I can tell you. I'm just looking at my other screen here, and I can tell you that Stitch has made it across the river, and Mumbles is still alive, as are Clint and Clint's teammate as well from Team 16. There's no one up in the northern zone, but we'd expect that with how the flight line was, very southerly flight line. We've got one team, Team 23, up around Cruz de Val. We've got Riot Zen's team, Team 25, around Hacienda and north of San Martin. And we've got the other Penn team around the south of San Martin. Now we've got one team up in the northwest around El Pozo, Team 14, NH, who we're looking at now. And it looks like they are currently around Team 4. No shots being fired at the moment. We've got a crate come down around the southwest between Ladrilla and Chumacera, and the ZPX team, Team 8, are getting that crate.
Come on.
Team 19 holding Monte Nuevo on their own, although Team 17, the DH team, are coming in from the high ground.
I do not think this is coming back. It doesn't normally take this long if you get a glitch.
No, I know it's loaded up quicker than that before.
Son of a...
Yeah, so we've got Team 14, Team 5, Team 4 going at it around El Pozo, and we might be having some action soon around Monte Nuevo as Team 17, the DH team, come up from the high ground onto Team 19.
Yeah, I hate this game. I really hate this game.
We've had, over the times we've been doing this, there's been a variety of issues, and the game freeze is possibly the worst one because there's just nothing you can do.
I hate this game. Okay, so we're we're here with the we're here with the Noob Hunters, and they're still getting into it with squad number 4. Big now. That's interesting because I mean on the roster they're marked as a Team Big. Jen. That's the guys that we cover in Tip Top, isn't it?
It is. We've seen a Team Big. I don't know if it's the same Team Big. I'm assuming it probably is because I know there's a couple of teams. Well, this is going to be close.
Yeah, we're definitely getting into it now. Marcus is going to have at least 2 guns on him.
Yeah. I don't know how they didn't see it. Oh, go for the fuel can. Go for this. Go on. Oh. Real shame there. Marcus left alone. Couldn't quite get to his teammate in time. And Big taking out the 4 kills there.
Yeah, okay. Looks like we've got everything back and running now.
Excellent. So I think by the looks of the map, Team 4 there, Big, have got the run of sort of the northwest area of the whole zone with a very southern flight line. Not many people actually rotated far north. Got a couple of teams around San Martin, a couple of teams around Monte Nuevo, and in the ground between Monte Nuevo and Chumacera.
Okay, looks like everything's now back up and running. Oh, just about. You know, the usual flying unrendered graphics, but we're used to that. We can live with that. Okay, so we're here with DH. Looks like they've got some guys who's 19 Lionhearts, not too far away.
Yeah.
Yep. Looks like they're potentially looking to rotate away from each other, though. Just had somebody posted in the chat actually that their game just crashed as well, and now it won't let them back in.
Oh no! Is that one of the players tonight?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Wi-Fi restarted. That's the first time I've actually looked at your YouTube feed actually, because obviously I'm watching the game screen. I have to congratulate you on a perfect choice of shirt, and anyone who disagrees is just plain wrong.
Yeah, well, I actually was wearing a different shirt, but then it was mentioned in the roster chat, so I thought, well, you got to go for it, haven't you, Rick?
Absolutely.
Okay, so we got a drop here, M249, and we got a couple of teams looking like they'd like a look at that.
So yeah, we've got teammate here.
And looks like ZPX have just done the business. And wow, look at this. 11 kills these guys have racked up so far.
Wow. And they haven't even taken the M249 yet.
So, yeah, that's an interesting one.
Yeah, and we've spectated ZPX a few times, and to be honest, I mean, it's fairly early in the game, but I'm not overly surprised they've got a high kill count. They are an aggressive scrim team. Or scrim clan, because we've seen them go up against their own clan mates as well.
Yeah. I've one of my personal favourites. I think was one of the first games I ever watched for ZPX. I think one of them ended up taking out his own teammate with a nade. They just couldn't stop themselves. Yeah.
We see the very central zone, Team 13, going for a rotation. ANH Misfire's team. We've got a few teams here trying to get centre zone.
Yeah, we've got a pen team up there on the high ground. Pretty much centre zone here as well. We've got some of the guys from Riot, and looks like they're getting into a long range engagement with the guys from Pen.
Some good work with him, with the mini there. Pen Murdoch moving around very, very well. Not giving him a good target. I'm assuming that Team 6 are actually looking down on the Riot team. They'll know where they are, I'm guessing.
Kill them having a quick couple of taps there with the SLR.
Yeah, and we see in the kill feed as well, we've got the Mark 14s in play as well with Genesis with a knock there.
Okay, it's our situation. We've down to 52 teams, 52 players, sorry, 16 teams still alive. Most people seem to be fairly much established now in and around the edge of zone. We're getting a bit of a potential flashpoint down in the south here. A lot of teams around here.
Yeah, with that very southern flight line, there's teams having to rotate. I think these guys are actually down on the prison island, weren't they? So they've had to rotate in from there.
And Stitch is he was the only one who survived from his team, wasn't he, out of that fight down south?
Yeah, the irony is Stitch managed to get away, and I think the first team he comes across might be the team that was there on Prison Island, Team 22. But it is getting a bit congested around that central area, either side of the mountain in the central zone.
And there's a Gen team as well, not too far away. Looks like might potentially have a quick look at Stitch here.
I think he may be just far enough away, although Mumble's there.
Mumble's the last.
Another one managed to get away from early contact.
Yeah, managed to get away from that that initial fight with the Elves. Pretty good gunfight there. Elves doing a great job.
Yeah, I did see that one of the Elves had been knocked a moment ago.
Okay, there's our next zone shift.
Well, all those teams that are around the sort of the eastern side of the previous zone have now got to try and rotate in from sort of the Picado and around the mountainous area between Picado, San Martin and Power Grid. That could get quite congested as people try and get a safe way into zone.
Hey, let's have a look at our friends from Noob Hunters. And yeah, I mean, we're phase 3 of the game, and people seem to be reasonably separated off.
It looks like, yep, so Stitch has been taken down finally after escaping. Taken down by Mumbles.
Where the hell does this gunfire come from?
I don't know, but I hear a Mark 14. So it'd be, I think it's a Gen team have got the Mark 14. I think it may have been Nick, I think, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
There we go. Looking after your Mark 14 for you.
I do like the Mark 14. That's basically soft porn for me, mate.
They've got a little way to rotate, but they've got no one directly in front of them while they do it. Although Team 12 are coming for a little bit further south.
Okay, so most of the teams seem to have a little bit of separation between them, but that's obviously going to change as people try to establish themselves. Now we're going to have a quick look at the centre of the zone here. Looks like 19 and 8 may well be coming into contact. That's ZPX. You've already managed to. Don't even start. ZPX. You've already managed to pick up quite a few kills in this game so far. Getting into it with one of the squads from Lionhearts. Yeah, Willow picking up a knock there.
Yeah, so taking a little bit of damage, but it was worth it to establish that knock. And what we do know about the ZPX, if they get the chance of pushing a knock, they will. And I think I saw that he's also got the M249. Yep. So AWM M249, that's not a bad loadout, is it?
Yeah, I think most people would live with that, mate.
There we go. While they establish the knock, I wonder if it's just rotating round to get a better angle. Whether they're actually going to go for a push.
Well, I've noticed that Willow often will quite often separate and go around for the flank, away from the rest of his team. When he pulls it off, it's spectacular. Sometimes he does come a cropper doing it. But it looks like the whole team is rotating into this compound here.
And the buggy there, well, it's caught up on a box. It's nice and safe in the middle of the building, so that's not going to get blown by the other team.
It looks like Fallen is taking the sort of forward observation position here. The rest of his team behind him.
Yeah, I'd imagine they're just waiting for Willow to come up with the AWM.
There we go. It's Willow getting the knock with the AWM.
Yeah, that is a beast of a weapon. I think they might be a little bit far away to be able to push that, actually, because they're going to have to go down in the dip and then up the other mountain. So I think they're just going to leave this as a long-range contest at the moment. I mean, they're both well in zone. There's no issue with being pushed by the zone for some time.
People are starting to come together now.
Yeah, so they're holding this centre zone at the moment, teammate, ZPX. We've seen them do that with their strong rotations, and they hold an area very well. But we've got a few other teams that are starting to come in towards that centre zone now. No one left out in the blue now. And
there we go. So we got
sure what happened there.
Guys from Gen and the guys from the Rendezvous actually pretty close to each other.
Yeah, so the next zone, it's not a hard zone shift, but what it's doing, it's just shrunk the existing zone. So the people, Team 8, who are existing centre zone, still will be in the new zone. So everyone else is just going to get very, very congested in that zone as they start to just shrink and rotate in.
Yeah, a lot of people here on this southern part. We've sort of got an independent Gen fight going on with the Rendezvous, and we've still got the guys from Lionhearts engaged with ZPX over on the left.
Yeah, so Fitz has just been knocked.
And the Grubster has been knocked. So Damo 88 getting the smoke out, getting the revive on. And looks like the guys from Rendezvous are looking to push this. Nick has now been taken out. Damo putting the rounds in though, however, gets the knock, but he in turn is taken out, and that's the squad wipe from the guys from Rendezvous there.
Yeah, that is a brilliant push, that is. I mean, one player went down, but they'll be able to get the revive on in there. But that is a very strong, very effective push, especially as there were players either side of them when they pushed as well. So they were taking fire from both sides, and they still managed to come away with it.
The guys from Lionhearts obviously observed that one and putting in some rounds through the smoke there.
He's trying to take out the vehicle, I think, by the looks of it.
Yeah. And they've, yeah, it was a great push by the guys from the Rendezvous, but they've left themselves in a very open location now.
They have, that's where they are, and they're out of zone as well. So they're going to be, in fact, yeah, zone's pushing up on them now. So they can't even hide out down there for a while and heal up. They're going to have to smoke if they've got it and try and rotate out of that.
Come on. Deadshot putting the Kar 98 a good effect here.
Yep. So there's some good weaving running by Supreme there, but Deadshot's concentrating on the players who are knocked and getting the revive on each other. But I think they might actually struggle to get out of the blue here, especially as their vehicle's pretty much in smoke.
So we're down to 35 players left alive. 10 teams, and you have to say that squad number 19 here controlling this southern edge of zone very effectively.
Yeah, especially as they were coming under fire from the ZPX team as well. They've managed to go to the behind. In fact,
And that's Tommy knocked though. That's the way you do it. So yeah, the guys from the Rendezvous, a great push on Gen there, but it really has cost them. They're facing an elevated squad who certainly got their location, putting repeated knocks on them, and now they're stuck in the blue in phase 5 of the game. So not a good future for those fellas.
No, the only thing they're doing right is they're letting the zone take them, so they're not letting the team take their kill points. But it looks like Team 8 have, you know, by holding that and getting that rotation in, they've got a really good, strong position. They've got hard cover, they've got high ground, and they haven't had to use a huge amount of meds either, because they've been the ones being aggressive.
Okay, 28 teams left alive. 28 players, 9 teams. Let's have a look at our situation. We've still got, right, we've got, let's have a quick pop up to the north. Looks like we've got people battling well outside zone here. This is one of the teams. Yeah, these are our friends from Riot. Looks like 2 killed. Fuji knocked.
Yeah, it looks like they've established knocks on the big squad as well. So they're taking the opportunity to get the revive in. Although I hear a nade bouncing around. If they're going to do it, they're going to have to do it in numbers, because we know that the Riot team, good aggressive players, good in a gunfight.
And there's plenty of throwables coming in, but so far they're managing to weather it okay. That one did a bit of damage.
Yeah, on both of them as well, and Fuji's been knocked.
So Fuji taken out now, so it's just Zen who's up and running, getting into it at the top of the stairs, and Big do the business and clear the team. 4 kills.
Taking out chunks of health there.
4 kills from this team, but we are in phase 5 and these guys have got a little bit of a rotation to go, and it looks like they've got Salty Snakes who are going to be in their path up in that ridgeline.
Yep, and they're covering the retreat, not the retreat, sorry, they're covering their approach into zone as well. And I think I noticed that Buggy's knackered.
We're here with Ragnar, he's the last surviving member of Noob Hunters. He's getting into it with the guys from ZPX here. Managed to establish 1 knock. But very, very quickly taken out by Nash. Well played indeed. That's more kills for these guys. Here we are with Darshan. Having to come forward in the blue. Looks like he's had his helmet wasted for him. Taken out there by, I think, the guys. Squad number 19. Deadshot, yeah.
I'm just looking at the next zone as well. So Team 8 ZPX did all that work to hold that compound, and now the zone's shifted, and there's no one in zone at the moment.
So we've got the guys.
Snakes team held that western zone, and they're the only ones on the west of the zone now.
So we've got guys down in the south. Let's go and quickly check out Noob Hunters here. Looks like they're getting into it with our friends from Lionhearts.
Good use of the smoke there.
Been doing some good work, Lionhearts, especially against the Rendezvous there. Some fantastic play. But, however, we are phase 6 of the game. 40 seconds till the blue starts to move. So they need to end it or rotate.
Yeah, I think they could actually use this smoke as cover now and actually just rotate away. Although, actually, no, because they've got ZPX fairly close behind them, and any more shots, and ZPX will start hearing this. I think Deadshot is just waiting for Malice to move here.
Salty Snakes got a reasonable location here. They're on the edge of zone. They are taking some damage though.
Yeah, so it looks like Team 3 and Malice got about 2 or 3 squads waiting for him to move here. 15 kills for the ZPX team now.
And there's Lobby Boy putting the hurt in the Malice. He gets straight behind that tree.
Three teams remaining.
I think he's trying to cut the tree down with an M4. And there's Willow doing the work again with that AWM. followed up by Lobby Boy with the M4 spray. Great combination there, and you have to say ZPX well in control of this at the moment, but that circle has not been nice to him. It's broken away from them again.
Yeah, if the Salty Snakes team can get some revives in, I don't know how much room they've got below that, the lip on the other side of this hill. If they can get the revives in and get some heals in, they're in a really good position, despite having been knocked.
Okay.
But here you go, the ZPX, like we said, they'll take a vehicle and they will rotate and they will push.
So these guys, and Lobby Boy taking some damage there.
Oh, it's a risky one.
The vehicle goes for a burden. Nash is knocked.
Lobby Boy got a little bit of a lip there to hide behind, but I don't think he's quite in zone. No, he's 17 metres from zone. So he's going to have to cross some open ground to get to zone.
Not out of the fight yet, though. So it's down.
Two good gunfighting teams as well.
Down to these two teams. We've got Salty Snakes and ZPX. 6 players still left alive.
Now, teammates ZPX, they could make this little split work for them. If they have to get a little bit lucky because they're coming at it from slightly from 2 angles. So Team 23 have got to watch out. But if they can establish the knock, Team 23, then I don't think they'll be able to get to the other in time, teammate.
Okay, so Willow and Fallen looking to slightly out on the flank here with Lobby Boy looking straight at Salty Snakes. Both of them have got edge of zone, and if this
with the Kobe,
the blue is now starting to move in, so it's going to be interesting to see where phase 8 of the game goes if we end up there. Willow's moving in with a 249 now.
Yeah, I mean that's what you want is a player like Willow with an M249 pushing you.
Well, I personally don't because he'd kill me, but yeah.
So you want him on your team?
Yeah, absolutely. And they're establishing the knocks now on the guys from Salty Snakes.
And here comes the push.
And that's it. Straight over the top, and they clear it up, and that is a clear-cut win for ZPX. They're fantastic throughout that game. Just absolutely outstanding work. So ZPX take first place with, 20 kills.
Wow.
That's something else, isn't it? 20 kills. In second place, Salty Snakes with 5 kills, and in third place, that's Lionhearts with 7 kills. So in the top 3, we have Lobby Boy and Fallen both sharing 6 kills. Their teammate Willow picking up 5, 4 for Deadshot. So look who else we've got. We've also got 4 for Destroyer there from Noob Hunters. I don't think we're going to get too many other high-scoring players simply because ZPX basically hogged a lot, didn't they? So yeah, I'd imagine that the lion's share of the kills, if you like, are at the top of the leaderboard, which they are. So great work there from the guys from ZPX. Okay, we're going to take a very short break and then be back with you for game number 2. And we'll see you then. Bye for now. Okay, boys and girls. So we'll be in very shortly for game number 2, which is going to be on Vikendi. Yeah, game number 1 there. It was well, we had a bit of a start, a bit of a gunfight at the beginning between the Elves and Penn. It was quite exciting, and then yeah, a bit of a brain fart with the game glitch there for a while, and then it sort of quietened down a bit. Quietened down a bit middle game as people were rotating. The one thing I noticed, whether it was by intention or not, Jammy, but one thing I noticed that ZPX certainly did very well in that game was, well, shoot everything, but also they rotated edge of zone pretty much every single time. They were hitting edge of zone. Next time it popped straight away edge of zone. They seemed to like fighting the edge of zone.
Towards the latter stages of the game, yes, but for most of the game, actually, what they did is they established themselves around the base of the mountain in the middle of the map, just north of Picardo. So they made sure they held that space, it got the high ground, centre zone, and then as the zone gradually shifted west, they held that as everyone else was killing each other around the edge of zone. They held that until it was no longer in zone, and as soon as it wasn't in zone, they made sure they got to like you say. They then started going edge of zone,
yeah.
until they could then start really fighting into the middle of zone.
Yeah, I was just talking with Siren and asked how their game went, and they found themselves actually very centre circle. In one of the later, I think she said about phase 6, phase 7 of the game, phase 6, I think. And they literally found themselves surrounded as everybody came into zone. They found themselves in sort of an isolated location, surrounded by about 3 teams. I believe they ended up getting taken out by Salty Snakes. But yeah, good positioning early on in the mid game. But that sort of rotation, fighting your position, rotate edge of zone, fight your position, seemed to work very well for ZPX in that one.
Yeah, and the later stages, the later zones, what you notice is they were nowhere near the flight path. They weren't, unreachable from the flight path, but it's not somewhere where someone would normally land. Obviously, it was very open ground in the end, with no big town. We didn't see a sort of Los Leones building to building fight, but there was no. So the people had to rotate there. They had to make a decision to get there from wherever they were. There were very few teams that could sort of just luck getting into the zone.
Yeah, some fantastic work. Good gunfight. I thought the Rendezvous did a great push on Gen, but my word, did they have to pay for it afterwards?
Yeah, absolutely. I said in the commentary at the time that not only was it a good decisive push, but where they pushed, they had players either side of them, so they had to split their gunfire either side. The team that they pushed could just shoot effectively one target, but they still came out of it. But because then the zone pushed them and the vehicle had been shot to hell, the overlook that the team had on them, they just couldn't do anything.
Yeah, Lionhearts are actually engaged sort of across mountain with ZPX, and but this all happened on their right flank, and then so they sort of gave themselves some cover from ZPX and just poured all the fire towards Rendezvous. And in the end, Rendezvous just couldn't get out of it. Multiple knocks, and then being hurt by the blue coming in. So it was a great push on Gem, but and they certainly got some kills for it. But it certainly hurt them in the end.
It did. But they had to do it, and they did a really good push. It was worth doing in the end, kind of. They got 4 kills out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. So some good action towards the end of the game there. Just having a quick look. Looks like I picked up. Looks like I picked up another subscriber. Who's that? Wicked Fisher. Thank you very much indeed. So very, very nice.
You're reeling them in.
What can I say? What can I say? That's an old man joke.
I'm just gonna. We are old men.
Stop.
I'm just gonna switch off the laptop. That's it. I'm done. Yeah. It's not going to get any better than that.
Just get your coat, mate. That's just not on. Yeah. So also. A bit of a personal milestone for me and the channel today. Actually managed to hit 10,000 views on my YouTube channel now, which is I think it's been going. Might have been going about a year. So probably not that significant in comparison to others, but still very, very pleased, very grateful to all those who subscribe and watch the video. So thank you very much indeed.
Well, at least you've you've definitely got a theme for your thumbnail for this video. The 10,000 going to be splashed everywhere.
Oh, I might put it on there somewhere. Yeah, I might put it on there somewhere.
You might mention it once or twice.
I might do. Okay, so only a couple of minutes away from game number 2, and yeah, this time we're on Vikendi.
Yeah, your favourite squad play map, isn't it?
It is. It is my favourite squad play map to play, but it's also one of my favourite maps to actually stream as well, because you just tend to get a lot of action, and it's a mixed type of action on Vikendi. You do get some long or mid range gunfights, but then you do get a lot of crashing compounds and close quarter gunfights on stairs and things like that. So you get a bit of all of it in Vikendi, and the thing that really mixes it up, of course, is the zone can be absolutely lethal.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that first zone. I mean, we've commentated on a few now, but also when you just play scrims, yeah, that first zone especially can be lethal, and a third of it will be water.
Yeah. I think we covered one last night, and I think about half of the first zone was in water, so it wiped out 3/4 of the map.
Yeah, and most of the teams had jumped northeast with the flight line, and the zone was sort of southwest, with most of it being coast.
Yep. So we'll have to see what we get for game number 2. Yeah, gonna be interesting to see how ZPX go about this game. If they're going to be absolutely buzzing from their winning game 1 and just try and do more of the same.
Well, let's hope so. I mean, one thing I noticed actually, that it wasn't just Wilo, but he had the AWM and the M249, but in the end, it was Lobbyboy that actually had another M249 that came in and just shredded the Salty Snakes team for the win.
Well, I think there was a good combination there of Willow getting knocks with the AWM, and at one point, Lobbyboy was doing some great spray work with the M4. So if say for example it wasn't an outright knock. I mean, he was just able to hit the spray and establish a knock on the player straight away. So pretty much, some effective focusing fire at targets.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Right, okay. I don't think we're going to be too far off now. What have we got? We've got 88 players in the room.
Yeah, so there's only a couple missing from Team 7 by the looks of it, and there's a gap at Team 15. Team 24.
7, that's Sons of Odin, and 24, so Soul Takers. So, yep, not too far away, hopefully.
Nope.
Oh, here we go.
And this is where Vimes has a mini heart attack while it does.
Oh, God, yeah. My heart attack doesn't stop until, everything's fine, it's over, and chicken dinner's been won. That's when I can start to relax. Okay, so we're here we are, just before the plane on Vikendi.
Yes, I mean the nervous thing about this is just waiting for that first zone.
Okay, so what are we looking at here? 84 players in the lobby. The countdown clock is working nicely, so hopefully should get the flight path fine. So yeah, let's have a look. Let's have a look at what flight line we get, and most importantly, how the zone shifts. Come on. There we go. Thank you very much. Stop trying to kill me. Okay. So here is our first flight line. So we're coming from the southwest, going to the northeast, in between Vishar and Milnar towards Peshkova. So Castle in range, Villa in range, Cosmodrome certainly in range.
Yeah, quite a benign flight path for Vikendi. We had the evil flight path on Miramar, so this is a fairly normal one.
Yep. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Doesn't really matter what your flight path does. It matters what the first zone shift does. So it's going to be an interesting one. So I think we'll follow down our winners from game number 2 on the drop. Looks like they're heading. It looks like they've opened it. I think they've. Yeah, they've actually dropped pretty close to underneath the flight line. Actually, so we got good separation.
So there's everyone is in Tovar. We've got what, 3 squads here?
Yep, 3 squads all straight away in Tovar. That's squad number 11, which we know is ZPX. We've got Team Big, and we've got one of the Den teams here as well. All teams who like a good gunfight, so this could be interesting.
Yeah, none of these will shy away from a gunfight. They can be tactical, but they're more likely to really push when they can.
And out go the rounds already. So that's the general situation on the ground.
So, I mean, Team 4 Big have got the very slight height advantage here. So they can look down on the other team slightly. But it's not a huge difference here.
Subi running around. Oh dear, with sickle and DBS. No helmet yet, no body armor.
No.
So look at our friends.
Of course, you can throw the melee weapons now.
Oh well, that'll do it. I mean, we nearly had a pan throw last night. That would have been epic.
Oh yeah, we were so close.
Looks like Big are looking to actually rotate out the back of this one though.
Yeah.
We'll stay with ZPX and Zen.
So maybe a fairly pragmatic decision there, just to get away from here, just to survive to the latter stages. I'd be surprised if either of these teams do the same thing.
So Willow the furthest forward for the guys from ZPX. Other guys not too far away. Let's check out Naughty. Oh, he had a quick poke at Willow's legs there. No.
He also knows there's someone further across the. He doesn't want to peek too far.
Yeah, sights coming on, baby, but not necessarily geared up particularly well at the moment. No helmet, only a level 1 vest.
No, and what we see also is Team 11. They're slightly lined up. If they could do with maybe trying to surround teammate here, if they're really going to take on the engagement.
Okay, so there's our first zone shift. That's pretty lethal. I think we've actually just missed that one, but Noob Hunters looks like they picked up a squad wipe early doors. They've lost 2 of their team doing it though.
Yeah, so it's like I said, they've got 4 kills, but it's pretty costly for the early stages of the game. But at least they came out of it.
At the moment, these are the 2 teams that seem to be closest with each other, but none. I think it's basically we're talking about a loot situation here. I don't think either of these teams looking to push it too aggressively at this point.
No, it looks like we've got Team 6. We've got a pen team over at Villa that have called. There's a couple of crates coming down at Villa for the pen team, and there's a Team 13. There's half of the Noob Hunters team are actually heading towards them.
That's 2 super air crates coming down. AWM there. And looks like we're going to get into it now. Somebody else wants these great weapons.
Yeah, so we've got the Noob Hunter team. They're actually split 2 and 2, the Noob Hunter team. They've got 2 just coming in from Mount Kresnek. And then there's these 2 that are actually approaching Villa. So they've got some very good loot very early on now, the pen team.
Yeah, I managed to see at least 1 AWM. I didn't see the rest of it. So So let's have a look. Murdoch's got an AWM. There's a Groza in there.
Very nice, and a nice white ghillie suit by the looks of it as well. So we've got Augs, Grozers, AWMs all in play here. So obviously noob hunters there will know about the flares, that's why they're there. So they'll know that they're well kitted as well.
Okay, so we're up in the north now with DH. They're getting into it with the guys from Sons of Odin.
Yeah, so they've got Sirens trying to revive Aaron, but the Sons of Odin team are trying to flank.
And Siren taken out by Deadpool there. Yeah, and that's all 4 kills established. So that's the guys from DH knocked out of game number 2. So I've no doubt Siren will be spectating in the channel in about 4 minutes. And no doubt thank me hugely for capturing her death. So yeah. So
looking at the zone now, it's a very northerly zone, and we've got quite a few teams that are sort of around the outskirts of the new zone, and it looks like I think Team 11, Team 8 are still eyeing each up over Tovar. I don't think either of them have really got into it.
No. I mean, it just didn't look like they were looted up for it, to be fair. And these are guys that like to be fast and aggressive. But they're either going to have to make the decision to rotate out of this and basically decide this town ain't big enough for the both of us, or take each other on, basically. Could be flying sickles and pans everywhere.
Yep, let's hope so.
Okay, let's check out.
It looks like Team 8, the ZPX team, have got a couple of knocks.
Just as I go somewhere else, here we go.
And in fact, they've actually just taken out the Zen team.
And that is Mustang getting wasted there by Fitzy. Here with Zen. Alex getting a lock at Fitzy. Fitzy's now been taken out by Alex. So 5 kills for this team from Zen now.
Excellent work, and time to get the revive there on Don as well.
Oh, getting the Don up, like it when you get the Don up, like the Don.
Yeah.
Nice lad, the Don.
Absolutely, yeah. And useful scrim player now as well. Fairly spread about. There's a bit sort of around between Kirchis and Dobromesto, but they're not that close at the moment. Although the big squad, Team 4, are coming fairly close to Team 10, but I think they're actually rotating all the way round Team 10.
Looks like they're actually taking the long way round just to get to establish in the southwest of zone.
Yeah, it looks like down sort of the south of the zone, you've got Team 6, Team 16, the Elves, and the Pen team coming very close to each other. They won't shy away from a fight either.
We're here with one of the teams from Noob Hunters, and they've already taken a couple of early casualties, so they're down to a duo. And these guys, not too far, I think, from one of the Riot teams. I think it was. Actually,
got Lionheart to their west, and they've got a Riot team to the north in Kirchis. Sorry.
So actually, a little bit of separation. Now we might have some action here with the Elves, not too far away from one of the teams from Penn. In fact, I think it was the Elves who got into a bit of a bun fight in Miramar with Penn. I think that was a different Penn squad, though.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. That was Mumbles and the rest, wasn't it? So they're working their way through the Penn clan. Wes trying to get a way up. There we go.
Yeah. Wes putting some rounds in there, but taking some in return.
Yeah, nearly establishing the knock, I think. Got quite a bit of damage done, but yeah, took a few hits himself.
Super so that's why they're
fighting. Oh.
So Be interesting. Probably one of the elves, I'd have thought.
Yeah, a few vehicles hanging around as well.
Got the toys from there. Not Quan.
No. Another G36.
And okay, maybe it wasn't the elves who got hold of that one then. I didn't see anything special there.
No. Now we've got the Rendezvous team and the FE team up at Zabava, up in the north of the zone. We're getting very close to each other.
Let's have a quick look at our friends from Fusion. They're getting into it with the Rendezvous. So it looks like the guys from the Rendezvous quite happy to maintain cover in these buildings.
Yeah, I mean they're virtually centre of the zone now, so they don't have to worry about that. So they can take their time a little bit. They don't need to rush it. They can just do it right. So both teams just trying to establish themselves. Maybe establish this is their compound.
So we've got Rendezvous on one side of the road. We've got Fusion sharing buildings, although it does look like now they're trying to push onto the same side of the road as the Rendezvous, and I'm fairly certain we saw another team off to the right.
Yeah, you've got Noob Hunters are coming to join from the south, by the looks of it. Sort of southeast.
And there's plenty of flares in this game. There's another one gone up.
Yeah.
And oh dear, yeah, I've just checked the chat, so I'm in trouble. Putting a few rounds in, but they managed to just about put it off, although I think one of them actually has taken a knock.
Yeah, there's also Riot Ghost and joining the fun, Team 25, here we go.
Almost a bit of death race action going on here.
So everyone's just trying to get to a decent position so they can get eyesight on the other teams. We've got, what have we got, 4 teams here now in Zabava. Because it's roughly centre zone.
So that's certainly put the cat amongst the pigeons.
Yeah. To the east of here, we've got a Noob Hunters team as well. Actually, Team 13. There's another team, Team 12, to the east.
That is a knock established on Lorbean from Fusion there.
Good position up on the rooftop here. Means he can get the height without having to stand up. He can crouch, get good control over the gun.
Phase 2 of the game. We're down to 53 players left alive. 15 teams still contesting. Yeah, Jamie, I think you might have to look at the chat. I think that Siren chick needs moderating.
Oh, really? Do I need to get my boots on?
Yeah, I think so, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, she gets one more chance.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
These clan leads. Oh, lovely bit of parkour there, building to building.
So we've got teams in pretty close proximity to each other, but they've got themselves available cover. They're using the buildings. They're having a quick poke every now and then, but nobody looking to crash the compounds at this moment in time. We're still in phase 2 of the game, of course.
Yeah, so the other 2 teams that joined the party drove straight past. They're now getting into it with each other. Team 13, Team 25. So Noob Hunters and the Riot team. So no hard zone shift yet. No, these guys are all still well in the virtually central zone.
These guys are basically just content to shoot at anything that pokes a window, and are we actually going to get a push?
So we're not far off now.
Well, there's one knock on the guys.
I think he might have just got eyes on Flex there. I think Flex might have just peeked a little too far. Or maybe not, no.
Yeah, no, they've managed to establish a knock, but it doesn't look like they want to come across this this road and come for the push.
No, it's surprising because they don't have to cross open ground for the push. They can go building to building, but they know there's another good gunfighting team waiting for them. So even though they've got the knock, I think Team 22, are they running as a 3 now? Or do they have another player?
Yeah, they're actually one down. So, okay, let's have a look at the situation on the ground. So we've got a lot of this concentration, which is pretty much centre zone, but still quite to the north of the map. Going to check out this situation down to the south west here. Looks like Sons of Odin may well be having a quick look at another team from Gen.
Yeah, so gatekeeping Gen, stopping them getting into the zone. So the pressure's on Gen here to get across into zone.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if Darshan has a Kar 98. Normally pretty good with that.
Single tapping on Knots. Knots makes it.
Well, nice tap fire with the M4 there.
Yeah. Marking up the rock for his teammates there, I think.
And that's Odinson getting the knock on Ashley.
I think Darsham's close enough to be able to get the revive there.
Yeah, we got a. It seems to be a bit of I don't know, a little bit more of a quiet tempo. Teams almost sort of waiting for opportunities rather than sort of forcing the pushes.
Yeah, I mean, here we go, because the Blues going to start pushing the Gen team here. They're going to have to move. It'll be interesting to see if they can make it across the road safely, or whether I think Darshan.
Yep, Darshan gets the headshot there on Odinson.
So is that the prompt they need to be able to try and push now? Because they're so close to zone. I don't know if they've got any. They've got a couple of smokes. Might be worth just popping a couple of smokes just to try and get there.
And Darshan making sure that
first aid kits.
Darshan making absolutely certain that Odinson can't get down those stairs, get to the rest of his team. So Odinson's more than likely going to bleed out.
Yeah, so they're going to establish one kill at least by the looks of it. All they've got to do now is try and get across that road. That's a good bit of play there. Get out of the back and just get to the next zone behind this rock. Don't think they actually saw him by the looks of it.
Oh, somebody got a look at him. I think that was Knots getting a look at him there.
Yeah.
Oh no, not Knots. Sorry, no. Well, that'd be unusual if it was Knots, but yeah.
Yeah.
Nice tap fire with the SLR there.
Yeah, just making him think twice about peeking again. But these guys have all got a couple of 100 meters to try and rotate. And Knots has got to try and get in as well. And he's a lot further out. He's only got one first aid kit.
And that's Darshan knocked out. And I doubt Knots is going to be able to get to his teammates, so Darshan's probably going to look to...
Yeah,
well, I think he's going to try and get...
He's only had one first aid kit left, and he's got about 350 odd meters to get to zone, and he's going to have to come past Team 20 to do it.
So, probably not going to get out of this one. So Sons of Odin with a short amount of way to rotate back into zone. Not still well out in the blue coming from the south. We'll keep an eye on that and see if he makes it in. Okay, so we've got quite a few teams down in the south. So let's very quickly get into, let's have a look at the guys with ZPX actually, how they've been doing. Okay, they've managed to pick up 4 kills game number 2 so far.
They're very close to Team 16 here.
Yeah, not at all, but yeah. Pretty close to the guys from the Elves. We've also got a couple of Penn players in the mix here. Sons of Odin not too far away. However, all of these players now find themselves well out of zone. And that's Knots taken out as he tries to come into circle there.
Yeah, so we've got a couple of knocks established here. So D's Nuts from Penn and Nash from ZPX both been knocked. So these guys exchanging gunfire here. We've also got,
yeah, great work from Willow there.
A different squad here actually. Oh, we've got the Elves as well. We've got the Elves, Penn and ZPX. Sorry.
But yeah, that's some rounds going into Willow there, so he needs to get off that high ground quickly. It takes a little bit of damage, not too much though, so they now know that they've got another team to their north, and that's the direction of the zone, so it looks like that's where they're heading.
Yep, so they're going to have the Penn team to their right. I'm wondering if they can get to zone before the Penn team get there, although one of Team 8 is split off as a scout. And that's Lobby Boy there. Just gone slightly further east just to get an idea of where Penn are, and you can see them rotating in the vehicle. So they've made it safely to zone, and Penn and the Elves are still having to fight their way back from the blue.
So it looks like the guys from ZPX can establish themselves southern edge of zone.
Yeah, they've got quite a few teams fighting that Zabava, that central area. We might possibly still have a town finish. Maybe not as chaotic as the one we had in the courtyard the other week.
Waz now fighting, trying to get in from the blue. And we've still got these guys holding on to the same buildings they were holding on to a while ago. They have taken a few knocks out of each other, but...
Yep, 14 kills, and they've still got 4 alive as well.
That's Mr. Green from Penn just getting whacked by Riot there, and looks like, yeah, vehicle blown.
And takes Mr. Green with it. So it looks like being quite busy over here in Zabava. I mean, the Rendezvous team are well established here. We've still got Team 22. They've got a couple left there. It looks like the zone might be coming west of Zabava, actually. And to the very west, we've got Team 4, Big, rotating in. To the north, we've got the Salty Snakes team. And to the southeast, we've got Team 10, the Zen team.
So here with team number 25 from Riot, they're just outside of zone now. They know they've got, I think they're more than aware they've got Elves behind them, but they've also got one of the teams from Penn in front of them. And they're starting to come into this area that's been occupied by the Rendezvous and Fusion Elite for a little while now. So it's all going to start to get very, very tasty around here. We're down to 29 players left alive, 9 teams in phase 6 of the game.
Some damage there putting into Penn E-Town from Riot. I think that was Ghost, wasn't it? Put that damage in then. But there's just shots going off everywhere over here in Zabava. We've got Big and Salty Snakes fighting over in the west. In fact, Salty Snakes have taken out the 2 players that were left from Big over in the west. But we've got Team 10, the Zen team, are approaching them now.
That's the situation. We're going to get some house-to-house fighting.
So yeah, we've got a little bit of open ground to the west of the zone, and to the east in the town we've got a lot of different teams, and we've still got 8 teams left in this small zone. I mean, I say in the zone, we've got, for example, ZPX are still trying to get their way into zone over on the east, although Lobby Boy is down on his own in the south. And we've got the Elves to the northeast as well. Everyone else is in zone.
So Blue is starting to move in now. Phase 7 of the game imminent. And this may be where we start to see people being forced to move.
Yep. So
looks like the guys from ZPX pushing in now. And Avery getting knocked by Alex there. So that's starting to thin them out now. There's our next circle.
Yeah, so
down to
rotate west, apart from these guys who actually, although apart from the fact they're beating hell out of each other, they're actually in the next zone. They're the only teams that are.
All of these guys are going to have to start the move soon. And that's Mumbles taken out.
Good work there by Riot. So that's thinned it out down to 6 teams, 16 players. Only 1 to well. We've got Salty Snakes in zone, but they're a bit beaten up at the moment. And we've got the Elves up in the north approaching zone. And Team 22 FE are coming into the southeast of the zone. And everyone else is going to be coming in from the buildings of Zabava.
So Salty Snakes have got the best location at the moment. Everybody else has got to move, including the guys from ZPX, Rendezvous, Riot. Looks like after the chunks they all took out of each other, everybody's managed to get the meds in. And the Blues are going to start to push these guys in just over 15 seconds.
Yeah, so ZPX are rotating in with a big heading straight for Salty Snakes.
And that's Salty Snakes taken out. So very aggressive push there from the guys from ZPX. So they've done it again. They've established themselves a stronghold, high ground, edge of zone. Still got 3 of them up and running. They've lost Willow. And looks like we might have a quick look at Flex, not too far away here from Lobby Boy.
Yeah, he obviously knows roughly where Flex is. Must have heard the footsteps. Unless Flex started putting some gunshots in, I'm not sure.
And that's the Rendezvous, and Riot still going at it. They haven't. They just keep taking chunks out of each other, those fellas.
Yeah, it looks like Rendezvous have won that battle. They're the only ones left rotating in from the eastern side. So we're down to 4 teams. The Elves actually in zone.
And that's Lobby Boy putting some rounds into the fellas from Riot as they try to rotate in, and there are knocks being established all over the place here. We're down to 9 players left alive.
Yeah, so we've got a couple knocks as well. So Subi being revived now. Rendezvous here with 8 team kills. They're just about on the edge of zone here. No one really wants to go into the middle of zone because it's just so open.
Probot, the last surviving member of his team. We've got a couple of guys from the Elves running around, and we've got the 3 fellas from ZPX up on the high ground there.
Yep, so we've got our final 3 with FE having just been taken out. Clint gets the knock on Lobby Boy. And I think, yep, one going for the thirst.
Taking some rounds. Now I think they're aware that they've still got a solo out there, but at this moment in time, and that looks like a fast crash rotation coming in from the guys from ZPX. Willow getting into it. Sorry, Clint getting into it.
So Subi at the top waiting, waiting for Clint here. And we've still got 18. I can't remember who that is. Sorry, Probot, wasn't it, from Rendezvous?
Yeah.
Is still waiting out on the other edge of zone, just waiting effectively for the winner of this fight, I think. Not going to get involved in this fight. They just let them get involved, get them sort it out amongst themselves, and then pick up any stragglers, I think. Difficult one to call. ZPX has got the height.
Subi managing to get a quick poke at Klim there, but doesn't manage to put it.
I'm just wondering how much Probot can see of this, because Probot was sort of behind the cliff slightly.
This could decide the fight because we're phase 8 of the game, and it's going to change any second now. And that is Subi taking some rounds from Probot. Probot finally reveals his location, takes out Subi, and establishes the thirst.
Now this is going to have to split the fire from ZPX here, so they can't concentrate on the elves now. They know Probot's there, and they know he's willing to get some shots in as well. He's not just going to sit there passively and wait for it to happen.
And yeah, the next phase has broken, so this is now phase 9 of the game. So one way or another, this game's going to be over in about 20 seconds.
I'll just say Probot, I'm just looking on my screen, and Probot's been graffitiing the rocks.
This blue is going to start pushing on all of these guys pretty soon.
So everyone pretty much knows where everyone else is. It's just a case of who's going to be able to get the...
So Probot now out of zone.
First.
Blue now starting to push. That is Clin knocked. Clan slightly out of zone. Now getting into it with Lobby Boy. That is, and I think that was Quan taken out. Again. So I think ZPX did take that one. Yeah.
Great work.
So it literally came down to who got into zone fastest, shooting as they went, and the guys from ZPX pulled it off again for their second win of the evening. In second place, great play there from the Elves. So they come. How many kills did we get for ZPX? 16. Oh dear.
Yeah.
Quan and the team from the Elves, they pick up 4, and in third place, we have the guys from the Rendezvous. They pick up 6, 9, 10 kills for those guys. So individual kill leaders, I don't think many people are going to beat Subi with 8 there. We will have a look, however. Just having a quick skirt down the list. Avery managed to pick up 4 from Salty Snakes.
Yeah, Franklin from Big. There's a good team kills there. Coming in 9th with 8 kills in total.
Yep. And just going through the rest of it, I don't think we're going to get many high kills at this end of the results table. No, we're not. So ZPX take the game number 2 for their second win of this evening. Our individual kill leader for that game is Subi with 8. Okay, boys and girls, we'll be taking a very, very short break, and we'll be back with you shortly before starting game number 3. See you soon. Okay, boys and girls, soon be taking off for game number 3, which I'm happy to see is on Sarnock. Always like a good Sarnock game. So, yeah, a bit of a mad finish on that last one there, Jamie.
Yeah, it's a great spoiling work by Probot there.
Yeah, I don't think Subi would have been happy with that one.
No, definitely not. Maybe they just didn't know he was there. You know, I doubt they'd have sort of forgotten or lost it. Maybe they just didn't know he was there at all.
Well, they probably had quite a lot to think about at the time. You know, phase 8 about to be phase 9, and they've got guys from the elves in front of them. So yeah, probably a few things going on.
and rightly you were watching the gunfights, but I said on the commentary that I happened to look at Probot and he'd got some graffiti work done on the rocks where he was hiding.
Oh, did he get a bit bored, did he, the poor lad?
I think so, yeah. So that's why he started shooting people, because he'd run out of paint, I think.
Right, fair enough. Well, yeah, I mean, we all have our problems. But yeah, some pretty good gunfights there. I mean, I noticed. Yeah, we had teams sort of staring at each other quite a long time, sort of mid-game. Really? They weren't too reluctant to push. I mean, I think I checked. We were coming into about phase 7 of the game with about 26 players still running around, which generally unusual. I mean, it happens a lot in tier 1 scrims because they just basically all stay alive. But and it gets insane for the last phase of the game. But to have that many players running around late phase in UK scrims it's not the norm. Put it that way.
Definitely not. And we saw actually it was that early phase, and we had that standoff in Trovar, I think it was, with Team 8 and Team 11. So that's the Zen team, but also that was ZPX Team 8. So that standoff, they didn't push a difficult building to building early push. They made sure that no one was able to push them, but it meant that also they were still alive to be able to take the win. I
mean, it wouldn't surprise me if a lot of teams do play it tactically, in the sense of once they establish a knock, they pretty quickly identify who it is. So is it going to be worth the risk of going for an aggressive push, especially phase 1, phase 2 of the game? Nothing wrong with that. Because I mean, in a lot of those gunfights, you go for that kind of push early phase, especially against another team that you know to be very good gunfighters. You may well come away from the fight, but you're probably going to lose players. And as we see in many cases, in fact, actually, the last 2 games have shown that not only have you got gunfighters fighting it out for the chicken dinner at the end, but numbers do count, and the guys going in with 3 players still up and running tend to be the ones who come out on top.
Yeah, and we've seen that a lot in all level of scrims. We've seen that yes, you can have individual gunfighters who are great at it. They might be in the right place at the right time, but 9 times out of 10, having more people counts.
Okay, just taking care of essential supplies.
I thought I heard it when it opened.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think my throat might be getting a little dry in a minute. I may have to go and do something. Bear with me.
Okay, so looks like we're going into Sarnock for game number 3.
All right.
Come on.
And we have a countdown clock as well.
Oh, there we go. Okay, game number 3 of the evening. Genesis squad scrims. We've had a couple of good games in 1 and 2. ZPX dominating. Be nice to see another team get stuck in. Not that I'm disappointed watching ZPX, but go on, give the rest of them a chance, you bunch of thirsty lunatics. Okay.
Interesting flight path.
Yep, there's our flight line. So boot camp, Paradise certainly in range for fast drops. Painan may well be occupied by a couple of teams as well. We'll just
a lot of early jumps.
We'll just keep a look at this, and unfortunately looks like we've got a solo from Noob Hunters. Maybe didn't quite get into his team in time.
Yeah, I think he might be going off to do the decent thing there and find some water. Or perhaps not. So look at that, lots of early jumps. I mean, Sandhog, the map you can reach anywhere anyway.
That does look like our friends from... Okay, that's a combination of two different graphics there. I've got water and somebody coming in at boot camp. Be very happy if you sorted that out, please.
Yeah. And it looks like we've got one squad at boot camp and no one at Paradise, which is very surprising.
And okay, thank you very much for that.
Yeah, so ZPX, the only team at boot camp and no one at Paradise.
No one at Paradise again. Okay, let's quickly go to Noob Hunters. Looks like they may well be getting into it pretty quickly with some guys from squad number 9. It's our friends from Xeno Elite, I believe. Where are these guys? They're around the ruins area. But there's our first zone. Fairly benign, actually.
Yep, not too bad for a first zone.
We're up in Hattin, and we're here with the guys from Big and Penn. Already getting some rounds out.
Yep, they're not being shy this time, are they? So third match of the night, they're yeah, making sure it counts now.
And Mr. Green taking quite a bit of damage there. And yeah, looks like quite a few people are taking this one a bit, a bit thirstily.
Zen and the elves.
Right at the beginning. So a quick look at the map.
Trying to see where the elves are actually. Team 5 very split. I've just noticed on the map. You've got some at Hartin here, and some you got Penn Help over in the very far north of the island, east of Cow. And this is ominous because the ZPX team at boot camp have called in a flare.
Noob Hunters not too far away from our friends in Penn. However, you've also got one of the Zen teams, but they're somewhat split at the moment. Missy isolated. I don't know what type of split that is. I'll have to ask Abs afterwards. I'll send her a screenshot.
I mean, there's certainly at very least a 2-1 split. No, I'm assuming Missy's just gone out of render.
Yeah, I think Missy's just... So here we are with Atom from Zen getting into it with the guys from Noob Hunters. But also getting some third-party work from Penn up on the hill.
Yeah, difficult position, low ground, and squads either side.
Let's check out Flareon. Normally not shy about getting his gun off that lad.
No. So Penman is taking down Anu.
And looks like Flareon looking to maybe improve his angle on this gunfight with Penn.
Yeah, so pretty beaten up, but Flareon just trying to get round, and with the amount of trees up on the hill there, it's difficult to get an angle.
Yeah, and they've already taken some casualties. So Ranger from Noob Hunters already taken out. But Flareon putting some rounds towards Menace there.
Yeah, again, a few to connect. The QBZ not as stable as like the M4 or the Scar L. Fast rate of fire, but just not quite as stable.
I also quite used to enjoy it actually, because in its base state, it's better than the M4 and a Scar L.
Yeah.
Obviously, once you start getting attachments and things in, yeah, you go with the M4. But in its base state, the QBZ, I found I did better with it.
There you go. Maybe I just like going for the obvious and going for the M4. Oh, actually, or an AK or something. But
Well, QBZ is basically a rip-off of a British weapon anyway. So this is a Chinese knockoff of an SA-80.
There you go.
Still a good weapon, but
Penn very split there. I mean, they could probably get to each other, but it's good to see sort of Deesnuts and the other player holding the high ground and just making sure they can cover.
yeah, I mean, it's you certainly notice this a lot that sometimes teams I think group up too much.
Yeah.
Whereas I mean, I've certainly seen it from Hard Shift do it very well. They dominate territory with the four. They make four players very, very big. They control ground very, very well and make it difficult for other teams to deal with. Because generally speaking, they know that should one of their members take a knock, then those members understand, take cover, we're going to win the gunfight, and hopefully we'll get back to you.
Absolutely, yeah. And you get some, I mean, a slightly different situation because they're healing up, but you get some teams that would rather sort of sit together behind a rock.
I think a lot of it depends on what situation you find yourself in, but yeah. And that is Dutty from Sons of Odin taken out. Sons of Odin well under it here. In fact, Snitch the only one on his feet, and that's not for long. So the guys from Deathly Hollows getting some kills there. Revolt and
kills already. He's going to have to get to Aaron fairly quickly.
Yeah, he's got to get to Aaron quickly. Stop looting, Bazza. Get over there, buddy. And fled out.
Taken out. No, he was taken out by one of Team 24 coming in for the third party. And Team 24 and Team 17 actually landed together, well, roughly together.
But 6 kills. 6 kills for the guys from DH there. That siren trick got wasted again, but you know.
You are definitely in trouble.
Yeah.
Definitely in trouble. In 4 minutes.
She's always getting wasted. The Bazza makes his way out and goes for a swim. Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
He might struggle here because the Blues coming in on him in in a minute's time. And he's going to have to get somewhere that he can actually get up the cliff. And I'm not sure there's that many places.
Well, not being funny, I mean, I've played with Bazza a few times and chatted with him a few times. So he might not have, let's face it, I mean, he might not have fought you through that much, to be fair. Lovely fella is our Bazza.
Yep.
Nice legs as well, Bazza. Good swimming cosy there, buddy.
Absolutely. In fact, he obviously planned for it because he looks like Nemo.
Yeah, he did, didn't he? I noticed a bit of Nemo going on there. Let's check out this situation up in the north next to the flare drop. Now we've got teams who are coming into Paradise Resort. Nobody dropped here, but now we've got Fusion and ZPX. This should be a fun fight.
ZPX got bored of being on their own in boot camp and decided to head to Paradise.
This should be a bit of fun fight with these lot. Not known for resolving their issues through debate, this lot.
No. And ZPX there, nicely spread out as well.
Let's check out Lobby Boy.
Subi takes down Lawbean there, so they've got the first knock established.
And may well see the guys from ZPX start to push this now. Lawbean only a knock though and should get rezzed.
Yep. But I think ZPX, it looks like on the minimap they're coming in for the push now.
Here we are with Willow. Out goes the nade. Boom, have some of that. Add another one just for good measure.
So takes down Insane, takes a huge chunk out of Lawbean there.
And there we go. That's 2 knocks established.
And here he comes with the MK as well.
Flex taking plenty of damage there, and these guys getting pushed on very, very aggressively now. Skills, the only player on his feet. Yeah. And I think I heard
a Groza. Yeah, he has got a Groza. Useful up close. I'm just going to report that Baz did actually find a beach to come out of the sea from, giving it a full Daniel Craig impression there.
Nice. Nemo has landed. Very good.
Yep.
So, okay, here we are with Fusion here, and Skills doing his best with the Groza, but ultimately 2 jump shots come round, some spray with the Mark 14, and yeah, great work there from Willow. So 4 kills for this team, and they've got all the loot to help themselves to now in Paradise Resort. And there is our next zone shift. And yeah, well, Quarry's still very much in play. You don't often get a game finishing on Quarry.
No, it'd be interesting if we do get one finished, because you've got such a disparity. I mean, Team 25, they're nicely on their own, actually, in centre zone. But the height of Quarry, if you get around the edges, if you get stuck in the middle of there, you just can't get out. Baz are really struggling. He's coming through the blue. He's got a couple of first aid kits and a couple of boosts. But he did manage to make it out of the sea, so he's halfway through the blue now.
And here we are with Odinson putting the hurt on the Darshan there. Darshan taken out.
Yeah. Knox
here with Knox.
The nade. Oh, took a chunk out.
Took a little bit out there, but not quite enough. But well, I'd have been tempted to follow that up with a bit of round the wall and come round, I think. But that's because I'm an idiot. Oh, here we go. See this one.
It's all about timing, apparently.
Yep.
Just waiting for him to move. Oh, now we've got 2 of them, actually, Knots and Malice together. But we've got the other player from Team 20 coming round on their left. I don't know if they've noticed him. I think they might be concentrating on Aklavins a little much here.
Yeah.
And then when he does move, they miss him moving.
Yeah, obviously, I mean, there's no way for them to know that that they did actually have the potential for the player to be isolated there. They can't see what we can see. So.
No, absolutely. But what I mean is they were there, and he had the sight trained on. He knew exactly where he was. But the moment he moved away, Aklavins actually just went for it and just took the run. Yeah,
be a very easy game if you're allowed to have spectator mode on whilst you're playing.
That's why I've got a ban pan on my profile. Yeah. Because some people do.
Yeah, I believe that's frowned upon, isn't it?
Yeah, and look, they've managed to rotate away completely now.
However,
the pen team off the hill.
Yeah, somebody might be coming to spoil the party. Just have a look at our situation now. We're down to 48 players left alive, 16 teams. Circle's still going to be around the Quarry area. And looks like our friends from ZPX, they're at it again.
Yep. Oh, I hear that. MK14.
Fitzy getting into it with the Fitzy getting into it with the floating M4, commonly seen on Sarnock, and and help wasted by Willow there. Nice work, Willow. But look at that. I mean, they took a couple of knocks getting those kills, but this is what we were talking about earlier. Control the ground, get the kills, get your teammates up. They do it very, very well, these guys. That's why ultimately they're proving to be very successful.
Absolutely, and they it's not even about shying away from a fight. They, when they do get into a fight, they 9 times out of 10 come out on top when it's just a straight one-on-one gunfight. I see Riot there nicely holding centre zone to the west of Quarry.
Well, they've got nobody around them. They must be sort of probably itching to get into a gunfight, and there's nobody about.
Yeah. Everyone else is getting nicely warmed up for the final zones, and they're just sitting there waiting.
Let's check out our friends from Big. They're coming in out of the blue phase 4 of the game. And they're potentially not going to be too far away from Noob Hunters, and yet they're getting into it. But great work there from Rolls, putting in some great spray work.
And they're having to do this as well because they're going to be pushed by the blue soon. So they've got to make sure they can get into the zone. And there you go. They've taken out their immediate threat of getting into the zone.
I'd imagine that the guys from New Brothers there weren't expecting somebody to come from behind them in the blue.
No.
You basically come from behind them in the blue, steal their stuff, and now we're getting stuck in with a pen, putting some rounds in.
That is some great spray work there with the M4.
Yeah, he puts any more lead into that tree, he's going to turn it into a pencil. There we go. Actually, great stuff. He establishes the knocks.
Yeah, I think it's third party in there. I think there must be another team. Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, Rolls is just having a riot here, and he's just enjoying himself hugely. Yeah. And he's just not just. He's had his pet pills. It's that. He's just. He's on it.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's knocking Pen. He's trying to cut down trees. He's taking out Genesis.
And yeah, racks up 9 kills. These fellas and the guys from Big, one of their number, also rocking an AWM, putting in the knocks.
Yeah. So 10 kills now for Big, Team 4.
And Penn might have been led off a little bit there because these guys have now got themselves into other gunfights, but potentially that could have been a couple of casualties there for Penn.
Yeah, and they've got Salty Snakes the next for them as they approach into the zone. I wouldn't say it's a cautious approach. He's just going for it. No. It must have heard some footsteps, I think. And Penn actually getting knocks on a couple of the team from Big here. So Rolls is going to have to come out and do some revive work.
Yeah, they sort of rotated away from the guys from Penn and got into it with Salty Snakes, and Penn were obviously still around. So a little bit risky.
Yeah, Squid's been thirsted as well by Penn.
But the guys from squad number 19 now also pushing into Penn very, very hard.
Yeah, and these guys got 10 seconds now, and they're going to be start being pushed by zone. Although Menace here with the M249.
Menace pushing up.
Oh!
Menace taken out. Menace thirsted. Murdoch, the only one still up and running. Takes it out in the grass, and Ragnar takes him out. So that's the guys from Penn wiped.
Yeah, and he's going to have to heal on the run here. And we've got quite a few. Well, still got 5 teams in approaching a very small zone, including Bazza, who after his swim, he's actually made it past Quarry into the late stages of the game.
Nice one, Bazza. Survivability, that boy. That's what I was always loved about him.
Well, he's on 3 kills individually, and that's 16 kills for DH.
So Subi looking to smoke up. Right in front, got their back to the blue. Come on. So that's our situation.
Team approaching Bazza.
We're down to 13 players left alive. 5 teams, phase 6 of the game. We've got the guys from Riot taking a beautiful position in the, well, pretty much the only available compound in this particular at the moment. ZPX still slightly out of zone. Bazza also still slightly out of zone, and he's just now been taken out by one of the guys from ZPX. Looks like knocks are being established on both guys from Lionhearts, and
Fuji's been knocked as well. So we've got the guys from Riot. They're going to get Fuji up. They've been in centre zone for probably 3/4 of the game now.
Yeah, I don't think it was by design. I think they just ended up with nobody around them, didn't they?
Yeah, absolutely. But also it means if they haven't been involved in gunfights, they've got...
Right, ZPX have now established themselves in zone, and they've got cover. So they're now getting into it, the guys from Riot. We've also got Salty Snakes coming in behind. That's Fuji knocked.
Yeah,
and here comes the push. And yeah, sometimes, and there we go. Sometimes the building's cover gives you cover, but sometimes you're trapped in whilst the other team have the advantage being outside, and that was certainly the case here. And here we go. This could be a triple dinner, I think.
So 22 team kills now, and it's just Lionheart's Alpha.
Yep.
Doing what any sensible
so
player
come
would
on,
do.
Lionhearts. You're the only people who can put another clan on the leaderboard this evening for the wins. I've got every faith in your Alpha. Go out there and waste the 3 of them, buddy. Nothing against the ZPX fellas. Great players.
No, 24 seconds and the zone's going to start pushing in, though.
I feel I've lost my impartiality. I don't think he's going to do it, but I feel I've lost my impartiality and I'm rooting for Alpha. Go on, buddy. Oh, and he's got. He gets it. There's one. Managed to get a knock.
2-on-1.
Managed to get the knock on Willow. He's got to move forward though soon.
Yeah. So. Coming up on this left-hand side, I believe.
And here we go. There's the flank, and ZPX take it. Triple dinner. Great play there from Alpha at the end, though. Good fight there, buddy.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, just absolutely insane, isn't it? Gonna turn that down. Okay, so we have ZPX in first place with 23 kills. In second place, we have the guys from Lionhearts. Alpha doing a great job towards the end there. They pick up 6 kills. And in third place, we have the guys from Salty Snakes picking up 5 kills. 9 kills for Willow, individual kill leader on that one. Shut up shooting, you bunch of lunatics. 9 kills for Willow in that one. Just going to have a quick look down. Don't think anybody else is going to get close to that. We have Menace with 4. Rolls from Big with 4, doing some great work there. Managed to get some of that. That was exciting to watch. Get that out of my ears. Thank you very much indeed. Okay, boys and girls. So, yeah, fantastic finish at the end there from Sarnok. And, well, ZPX got to be feeling pretty good about all of that, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I mean, the takeaway from the night is not just the fact that ZPX won the 3 games, but you have to acknowledge the kill count as well.
Yeah.
What do we have? 20, 17, and then 23, I think it was?
Yeah.
I mean, that's no accident. It's brilliant gunplay, some really aggressive play. Yeah, just hats off to them.
Yeah, certainly seem to, well, just very good at dominating gunfights, but keeping guns in the game late game. Then it seemed to be a thing for them, whether it was just that way or that's something they've worked on. But, you know, consolidate during the middle game, take the kills, get themselves into the central part of the zone so they don't have to worry too much about a lengthy rotation. And then in the late stages, edge to edge, keep pushing. If there's another team happen to be in the way, clear them. And it just seemed to be the recipe they used for all 3 games in that one.
Yeah. And they were just almost sort of sweeping teams aside. They don't push individually, they push as a squad, but not, like you said when we were looking at the Pen team, nicely spread out. So they're not pushing, you know, in single file or all grouped together. They are pushing as a squad, but in a coordinated way in separate locations. So teams just get, I say, swept away by them. I mean, they came through on, you had Riot in the middle, Salty Snakes one side, and ZPX the other. So Riot were in a really bad situation. But ZPX didn't stop at Riot. They actually went through and then made sure they just quickly just pushed through aggressively onto the Salty Snakes team as well. Didn't give them a chance to heal, didn't give them a chance to establish any sort of defensive position, just straight into them.
Yeah, it was good stuff. just well, I mean, yeah, definitely dominated proceedings. Rooting for Alpha at the end there. Managed to get a knock on Willow. Well done, but no way in hell going to be able to live just with that level of aggression and gunplay, really. No. And that very much was the theme for the night. Okay,
I must give a quick shout out to our little Finding Nemo Bazza. They not only managed to swim around half the map, run through the blue, but actually came in and got 5th.
Yeah, not too bad there, and looking fine doing it, Baz. Nice legs, buddy. Did you think he shaves or waxes? I don't know. I've never asked. Okay. Anyway, boys and girls, thank you all very much indeed for taking part in Gen Squad Scrims. I'd like to thank our hosts, Genesis, Fitzy, and the guys, as always, putting on a great event. I'd like to thank DH Jammy for helping me with and co-hosting the event this evening. Thank you very much, Jammy.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
No worries at all. And I've no doubt we'll see all of you next Tuesday for more of the same. So, please keep subscribing to the event. Please keep doing what you do. You make a great deal of fun to cover these events for you and provide some great content. So, with that said, I'm Vimes177 Gaming. As always, good hunting and bye for now.